Chapter 48. Nagpaalam ako kay Beth na sumama ang aking pakiramdam. Ang sabi ko sa kanya ay bahala na si Arjun kung mananatili pa sila sa ibaba. Dahil ang sa akin lang ay dito lang ako sa itaas. Inignora ko ang mga tanong na ibinabato sa akin ni Beth at umakyat na sa kwarto. I laid my body on my canopy bed, my head turning sideways to breath. The floor-to-ceiling window of my bedroom was open and the sheer curtain was flying everywhere. Nagtatanong ang aking mga mata habang nakatingin sa tahimik na alapaap. Humahanap ako ng sagot kung bakit. Wala pa akong katahimikan. Nakatulog ako sa kahihintay sa sagot nitong hindi dumating. I moaned and checked my phone. An hour and a half already passed. Sian's messages were displayed asking about what happened way earlier. Pagkatapos kong mag-reply ay bumangon na ako. The sun was a giant blazing ball spitting fire when I went out to my balcony. My eyes turned into slits as I overlooked our whole estate. Wala na ang sasakyan ni Arjun sa harapan. Ngunit naroon pa rin ang sasakyang gamit ni Gab. Ilang beses akong pumikit dahil baka naman namamalikmata lamang ako ngunit hindi nawala ang kotse. Napadiretso ang aking likuran at pumasok na kaagad pabalik sa kwarto. Why were they still here? Minasahe ko ang sentido habang paikot-ikot na lumalakad sa aking maluwang na silid. Siguro ay nananaginip ako kaya't minabuti kong bumaba na. I took cautious steps as I go down our grand staircase. Nobody recognized that something was wrong with me so I proceeded. Tumungo ako ng kitchen upang masilip ang garden. Nang makitang wala namang tao sa mga puting upuan na inukupan namin kanina ay pumikit akong mariin. Ay, Chris. Gising ka na pala, Ma'am Chris. Tamang-tama at luto na itong ginawa naming merienda para sa'yo. Just as I was being relieved of my own foolishness, Ingrid came rushing to me in glee. Sumingkit ang aking mga mata sa pagdududa ng kanyang mataas na enerhiya. Tumango lamang ako rito at minabuti na isantabi ang aking paranoia. Nanguha ako ng platito at tinidor para doon ilagay ang umuusok pang lasagna. Hawak ko ang mga ito sa isang kamay at isang basong juice naman sa kabila. Nakapaa akong naglalakad patungo sa aking paboritong pwesto rito sa bahay, sa aking hammock. Akala ko ay tatapon ng aking mga dala sa gimbal nang makitang si Gab na kunot noong natutulog sa aking paboritong duyan. Ang isang braso nito ay ginawang unan ng kanyang ulo at ang dalawang paa ay nakababa sa magkabilang gilid. Maluwang ang espasyo sa nakabukang mga hita. He looked like a sleeping lion to me. The rise and fall of his chest was feral in my eyes. Kahit natutulog ay dominante pa rin ito. I backed away and accidentally stepped on a stupid twig. It snapped in two. A bloodshot eyes snapped, looking at me. Gab groaned and slowly sat up. The muscles on his thighs tightened and his shoulders broadened even more as he lazily stretched. Chris, what time is it? Ani Gab, ang mga mata ay namumungay pa. I was completely baffled that he had to ask me that. Heto ako na nagugulantang dahil naririto pa siya at yun lamang ang kanyang sasabihin. I look at his expensive gold watch sitting on his wrist and question its existence and mine. Napaawang ang aking bibig. What the hell are you still doing here? Where's everyone? Nangunot ng tuluyan ang aking noo. And why are you sleeping in my hammock? My poor hammock. Ang kanyang mga matang malulupit ay walang patawad na sinuri ang aking kabuuan. Mula sa dulo ng aking mga daliri hanggang sa aking umaalong buhok. Tamad nitong tinungtong ang siko sa isang hita at hinilig sa kamao ang panga. He was looking at me dead bored the whole time I was talking, like he wants to go back to sleeping. I pursed my lips. Kamakailan ay napatingin ito sa aking dalang merienda. Inilihis ko ang aking mga kamay dahil hindi naman ito para sa kanya, ngunit sinundan lamang niya iyon ng tingin. Get up and get out. Mariin kong sabi sa kanyang inaantok pang mga mata. Napakagat ako sa pang-ibabang labi. I'm hungry, Chris. Gab dragged his feral eyes over me once again and not to my damn lasagna. Then, get up and get out. Feed yourself. Ngawit na ako. Mariin akong tiningnan ni Gab bago mahinang napamura. I tapped my bare foot on the wood flooring, waiting for him to get up. I shrieked like a banshee when he howled me towards him and I landed on the hammock. Mabuti at hindi natapon itong mga pagkain. Napaupo ako sa pagitan ng kanyang mga hita. Ang aking mga paa ay nakapatong sa isa. Pinirmi ako ng kanyang marahas na mga braso upang huwag kami matapunan. Inikot nito ang isang kamay sa aking baywang. Ngawit ka pa ba? Ha? Bulong ni Gab sa akin. I closed my eyes and counted from 1 to 10. His body was warm all over and it was starting to travel into me. Gusto kong isaboy ang juice sa kanyang mukha at itampal na rin ang buong platitong lasagna. Fuck you. Pinandilatan ko ito. Makapal! Shh! I'm hungry so let's eat first. Iling niya sa akin sabay kuha sa tinidor. Nakasalo ang kanyang malaking kamay sa hawak kong platito. Ako muna ang kanyang pinakain dahil alam niyang ayoko nang gamitin ang tinidor pagkatapos niya. Siya lang naman ang halos umubos pati na rin ang juice. Mahigpit na umikot ang kanyang mga bisig sa aking baywang pagkatapos ilapag ang mga pinagamitan sa sahig. Ramdam ko ang kanyang mga balahibo sa aking balat dahil naka-crop top ako. Will you let go of me now that you're full? Hirap ko itong nilingon dahil sa kanyang mga yakap. He's very full indeed. Full of shit. You changed your perfume, he said, ignoring my plead, sniffing my neck. Inilayo ko ang aking leeg dahil tumatama ang kanyang mainit na hininga doon. Gusto ko nang umalis at tumayo, ngunit hinila niya akong muli pabalik. Damn it. Obviously. I like this one better. Makes me think you're a grown woman, unlike your previous ones. You smell like a baby back then. The vibration from his mouth on my shoulder tickled. I am a grown woman. I clarified. Hindi. Sa akin, sakit pa rin sa ulo. A deep rumble erupted from his chest. What did that mean? I hate your choice of clothing. There's never a gala or a function that you didn't wear revealing dresses, and you party a lot now. I don't give a damn about your opinion. I'll do what I want whenever I want with whomever. That earned me a tight squeeze from my waist. I cursed, but Gab only focused his eye on how fast that skin turned slight red. He looks like he wanted to do it again, but thankfully he shook his head. Gusto mo yatang ipasara ko lahat ng club na pupuntahan mo. Remember that I can do that, so don't challenge me. Where are my cousins, and where's your stupid brother? I diverted wherever the trail of our conversation should go. I was busy with my hands trying to free myself, but he only held tighter. Arjun's mother called in, and the girls are out on an errand with Jerome. They will return after 20 minutes or so. Sa wakas ay nagkaroon ng silbi ang kanyang relon ng sipatin nito. I still remember what happened earlier. I'm already worried about Romina being near with Jerome. Baka mag-away na naman. Relax, Chris. I already talked with Jerome. They'll be fine. Gab tried to console my frantic hands. I stayed steady, feeling his every heartbeat. For how long will you do this, Gab? When will this torture end? I asked in breathless whisper, my normal heartbeat melting into billions per second. If you're calling this torture, then what am I doing to myself? What do you call this thing I'm doing to myself to have you? Suicide mission? Death sentence? Nanatili akong tahimik, palipat-lipat ang tingin sa mga halaman namin. I will prolong this process for as long as I want. I'll keep your cousin in tight leash and he will follow me in circles for as long as I want. I will make the numbers go up and down so he will surrender to me. He carved his words sinfully in wickedness. Pumikit akong mariin ngunit hindi ko maalis ang mga nagmamarkang pangako ni Gab. Umiling ako rito. Kukuhanin kita ulit sa kahit na anong paraan, naiintindihan mo? Wala akong sasantuhin, wala akong kikilalanin. Ibabalik ulit kita kung saan ka nararapat, Chris. Sa akin. Gumuguhit ng mga ilang bilog ang kanyang mga daliri sa aking balikat habang patuloy sa kanyang mga mapanganib na pangako. You're being selfish. My hopes of pushing him out of the picture suddenly skyrocketed towards an unknown planet. How can I battle with this man driven hard by the deprivation he could barely stand? He's like a wild animal, caged for so long. His chains now broken and released from his bounds. I couldn't tame such brutal force. Phew. I know, baby, I know. Bulong ni Gab. His grip was getting tighter every second and his breath getting heavier. The warmth coming from him was doubling and suddenly, the space between his legs I was situated in was starting to get smaller. Hinawakan ni Gab ang aking lieg upang maidala ang aking mukha patungo sa kanyang gawi. Pilit kong inaalis yon ngunit nauubusan ako ng lakas. Pumikit na lamang akong mariin at naramdaman ang init ng kanyang labi sa akin. He crushed his mouth to mine, his tongue seeking entrance I wouldn't allow. His other hand tightly gripped my thigh and my mouth opened in shock. It was a trick, so his tongue was now battling mine. Inayos ni Gab ang aking pang-upo kung kaya't nakaharap ako rito at ang aking mga paa ay nasa kanyang likuran. Hinilig niya ang aking buong katawan pahiga sa hammock at ipinako ang aking isang kamay sa tabi ng aking ulo. Gab stared at me in all primal possessiveness. It was the most unnerving, tender, and lustful gaze he could ever give to me. I thought I'd crumble. He brought his mouth back to mine and I was falling apart. Falling carelessly. I couldn't help but to run my hand from his chest to his neck to his hair. That was my hands wanted to do since. The growl I heard amidst my moans made me melt into a puddle of delirious thirst. His mouth was getting harsher and unforgiving, his hands being rough and needy. His lips traveled down to my neck, biting and licking. I was writhing from my uncontrolled desire and my pelvis hit his. Fire emanated from me as I hit that spot, and I did it again. Nakailang mura si Gab habang ginagawa ko yun ngunit pinigilan niya ako. Mahigpit ang ginawa niyang kapit sa ituktok ng aking damit kaya't kahit may damit ako ay napatigil ako. Holy shit! Hindi ko kinaya ang aking nararamdaman. Napapikit na lamang ako at napakapit sa kanyang matigas na braso. Napupuno ako ng kanyang mga halik at nang umaatras ang kanyang mukha ay minulad ko ang mga mata. Gab was watching me intently, his eyes dripping with lust as he played with the top of my breast. His other hand was traveling dangerously south and now drawing circles on my torso. Sa paraan ng kanyang pagtingin sa akin ay tila ba minememorya niya ang aking bawat halingking. Sa paraang ito ay mas lalo lang akong nanghihina. I cursed and cursed, so he had to stop it with his mouth. I moaned in desire as the heavens was once again given to me. My hands went up to his buttons. Gab was helping me free him from there when we heard a car engine shutting down. Fuck it! Napahilamos kaagad ng mukha si Gab habang nakatingin sa gilid. Para akong nabuhusan ng ice cubes. Dumaan lahat sa aking utak ang aking mga sinabi at ginagawa kanina. Ang aking mga pagmamakaawa at mga bagay na hindi dapat ginawa. Confused and agitated, I got out of the hammock. Kinagat ni Gab ang pang-ibabang labi habang tinitingnan akong gulong-gulo. Grace, Nagbabanta ang kanyang boses ngunit wala rin itong nagawa nang tumakbo ako patungo sa loob. Malakas ang kabig ng aking dibdib. Umaagos pa rin ang aking dugo ng kaibilis dahil sa nangyari kanina. Hinahabol ko ang aking hininga at ang kalituhan ay napuno ng pagsisisi. I shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't... I locked my room when I got in. I immediately went to the shower and lost myself in there. I couldn't feel my body. The sun was already setting down when I went out. Sa aking cellphone ay naroon kaagad ang mga text at tawag ni Beth na aalis na raw sila. Galing pa yun kanina. Yun lamang ang nakita kong importanteng text sa dami ng aking mga chat at messages na na-receive. I laid down in my bed. My head was killing me so I didn't even dare to go down and have dinner. Madali na lang din akong nakatulog. Kinabukasan ay nagyaya kaagad si Romina na magpalamig sa mall kaya naman magkakasama ulit kaming tatlo ni Beth. Ang pakay ng mga ito ay kumprontahin ako tungkol sa nangyari kahapon at follow up na rin tungkol sa nangyari sa kabuuan. Honestly, I now hate his brother more than him. Total asshole, so I'm getting it. Kung pinaka-asshole ang kapatid, syempre asshole din ang kuya. Ani Romina habang nasa loob kami ng isang shoe boutique. Bakit ba kasi pinatulan mo pa? Sagot ko rito. Papatulan ko talaga yun dahil grabe na nga sa mga comment. He's thinking that every woman in town wants him and he just need to choose who and when. Arjun got pissed yesterday. I thought he'll cancel the meeting. Sabat ni Beth. Napataas lamang ang aking kilay. Well, I got pissed too. He'll prioritize that melody over his sister that was being harassed in his watch? I don't think so. Arjun's being madly head over heels in love that he's forgetting family. Look what he's doing right now, ani Romina. Napatigil ang aking mga kamay sa pagtitingin ng mga sneakers. Ngayong literal ng sinasabi ni Romina ay pumasok kaagad sa isipan ko ang mga binitawang salita ni Gab kahapon. That's what he's also doing. He's deliberately tossing aside everything for his desires. Men were being dangerous because of that strong emotion. Gab and I made arrangements just so they three will comply. Nilingon ko kaagad si Beth dahil sa kanyang komento. Nilingon ko si Beth at tinaasan ko siya ng kilay, demanding for more explanations. But she just shrugged. You two are friends now? Is that it? My tone held venom and I felt a little bit guilty. No, but we talked a bit. Beth waved her hand at me in dismissal. Akala ko ay puputok ng aking pisngi sa pagkapula. Nag-uusap na pala ang dalawang yun nang hindi ko alam kung saan na naman ipinasok ni Beth ang kanyang sarili. Romina updated me about the project and says Arjun was dead set on buying the property. We cannot drag our family lawyer in the project, so we had to get one that wouldn't disclose information. Gab and Jerome already had two in their aid and will now present the land titles in the next meeting. Your plan is going nowhere. Kailan ang balik ni Tito Nick? Sabi ni Beth. Harold will update me about it, but around a week from now, I think. Sabi ko habang sinisipat si Beth sa aking gilid. She's texting and suddenly looked up at me, then resumed again. Naiwan si Gab nung umalis kaming tatlo. Si Jerome ang nagpumilit na iwan siya. You're taking a nap, so I figured nothing will go wrong. Mariin kong tiningnan si Romina habang nagsasalita ito. Hindi ko mapigilan ang mga imaheng pumasok sa aking utak. Yung mga ginawa namin ni Gab sa aking hammock na hanggang sa aking pagtulog ay dala ko pa rin. Nothing had gone wrong. I didn't think so. I'm planning to tell Arjun. Tikim ko at napatingin silang dalawa sa akin. Umiling ako kaagad sa kunot noon ni Romina. Hindi ko na rin kayang ipagpatuloy pa ang panlilinlang sa kanya. Nagbabanta si Gab kahapon at alam kong tototohanan niya yon. Arjun will be used to his advantage, to be manipulated. and to manipulate everything. And I wouldn't want that, especially now that my cousin is doing it for someone else. He has the biggest mouth here and you already know that. He shouldn't know, Chris. Laban ni Romina. Hindi ko na alam kung paanong ipapaintindi sa kanya ang kaso ko habang maaga pa. Baka makahanap pa siya ng iba pang mga property. Sabi ko, hindi niya iaatras yon ng ganun-ganun lang. Kapatid nga pinapabayaan, pinsan pa kaya? Ani Beth. Yeah, and I'm just a half cousin at that. What do you suggest me to do then? Let Arjun be a pawn in this? Crush his dream? You don't know who we're dealing with. Yeah, we know. He's your ex-lover and he's also the CEO of his family's company. Ani Romina. Really, Mina? And he owns a hacienda. Ngisi ni Beth. I wanted to bash both of their heads together. Romina talked about him like he was a god and Beth looked like she really finds him intriguing but interesting. And she's even friends with him. Exactly, girls. He's a fucking king and he'll do what he wants. And please, stop praising that man who fucking married my sister. I hissed at the both of them and people's head turned in our way. Inirapan ko silang lahat. What if he didn't? What if he let you achieve your goals and heal first? What would you do then? Si Beth. Stop it, Beth. I snapped at her. She just shrugged at me and resumed texting. You know, Chris, I know you. You make men drool just by staring at them. You can get every man you want by the flick of your fingers. This one shouldn't be hard. You can always bend a man to your will, right, baby girl? Romina clapped her hands and smirked at me. Sinalubong ko ang mga tingin niya sa akin. Oh, he's your ex after all. Alam mo naman na siguro kung paano iyon titiklop. She patted my shoulders and winked. When I got home, I immediately went to my hammock. But before I could set a hand in it, I stopped. Naalala ko ang mga nangyari rito kaya naman napaatras ako. I just snuggled on the white sofa on the far end while I played with my phone. Nakikipag-text na naman ako kay Sian at nakikipag-Facebook. Arriving on the messenger, I clicked Beth's name and typed in me. Hey, Beth, can you do a research for me please? About your dear friend Gab Damiano? Mabilis naman iyon kaagad na nasin. Nginat-ngat ko ang aking mga kuko ngunit pinigilan ang sarili dahil bagong manicure. Beth, what specific info do you need then? Napanguso ako. Me, everything that you can gather. When I receive the confirmation, I'll resume on entertaining myself. I also checked my Instagram account. I saw Arjun posted 2 pictures just this morning. The first one was him sitting at the edge of a cliff and looking out on the lake. However, the second one was something that was from the vicinity too. All nature and soft to the eyes. He was bent on one knee as he was tying someone else's shoe. Very obvious that it's a girl. Symphony was captioned. I rolled my eyes and resumed viewing other posts. I updated my account and posted a picture of me taken from one of our vacations in Marinduque. It was a half underwater photo, and I was wearing a yellow two-piece, smiling widely. Hundreds of hearts were given to me within minutes, and I played with my hair while watching the numbers grow. Suddenly, I was informed that someone sent me a message directly to my phone number. Pagbukas ko pa lamang ay marami ng unread messages doon dahil ang iba ay ayaw ko lang replyan. Ang nasa pinakaituktok ay isang unknown number. I opened it and saw my photo that I just posted on Instagram. The screen displayed that the other person was typing, unknown number. Why do you post something like this? This line was very private and only close or close friends can contact me. Kumunot kaagad ang aking noo. Hindi naman wrong send dahil ako ang nasa picture. Muling nag-type ang nasa kabila at nagpadala ng mensahe. Unknown number. GD. I slammed my head on the sofa cushions. Pinaglalaroan ko ang pang-ibabang labi habang hawak ang iPhone sa tapat ng aking mukha. Me. Yes, Mr. President? His reply was mere seconds, but I changed his name first para hindi magulo sa contacts. Kung hindi ko yun gagawin at magmamatigas na i-block siya, ay gagawa lamang ng paraan para makapagpapansin. GD. I'll call. I was stoned but Gab didn't give me time. Sumalubong kaagad ang kanyang request para sa FaceTime. Para masigurong siya ang may hawak nito ay tinanggap ko yon. Hello. Kumuha ito sa akin ngunit hindi ako gumalaw. Mukhang nasa airport siya at nag-aantay ng flight. Naka-navy blue suit ito ngunit walang tie. Bukas ang ilang botones ng kanyang puting long sleeves. I'm going back to Manila. Siguro ay mga next na ulit ang balik ko dyan. Paalam niya. His hair was fixed into perfection as to what I'm seeing in the screen. He looked freshly shaved and had a haircut. I could almost smell his aftershave from here. You should just stay here. Your company can't live without you, but this project can. Send someone from up there to deal with this. Suggestion ko. I am sending myself. He tilted his head and leaned back on his seat. His eyes regarded me with curiosity and amusement. Was it something about what I said? Yes. But you keep on flying back and forth. Isn't that correct? Tumango ito sa akin at kinagat ng pang-ibabang labi. Mayroong nakakapagpasaya sa kanyang mga mata na hindi ko matunton, but it makes his face extra vibrant, his eyes extra unnerving. Something about him flying all the way from Manila to here and then back again in multiple times per week, just to see me made the faint pull. Just a little fading hold on the smallest bundle of nerves on my chest. Then it's gone. I can manage, Chris. Just don't push my buttons when I'm tired. You are extremely pushing it now with that photo. Tinaasan ako nito ng kilay at dumaan sa kanyang mga mata ang iritasyon. Inayos ko ang aking higa at bumiling sa kabilang side. Nakita ko ang pagbaba ng tingin ni Gab sa screen. Hindi ko naman yon pinansin. I will post another one if you won't stop. I dared. That made his jaw move sideways, biting his lip in annoyance, but it also made him shut up. Bumabang muli ang kanyang mga mata at kumunot ang noo. Don't go clubbing throughout the week, please. I will lose my shit if I hear you'll do that. And where will you hear it from? Huli ko sa kanya. From Jerome. He'll be staying there to deal with your cousin and he'll be monitoring you while I'm gone. Umikot ang aking mga mata, as if he can do something to stop me. I watched all the people, women specifically, pass Gab. Nakikita ko yun sa screen na malagkit siyang tinitingnan ng mga babae doon. Walang pakundangan ang pagnanasa sa kanilang mga mata kahit na nakaharap ang aking mukha sa screen. And so, what? I watched him speak to me, his accent thickening sometimes. How his jet black hair was styled to perfection, his neck revealing a pulsing nerve, and how he carries himself was just pure alpha male. And I wonder, how can I bend such powerful entity? What are you wearing, Chrissy? Muling bumaba ang kanyang tingin sa screen na kanina ko pa napapansin. He wasn't asking. He was actually demanding in 100% annoyance. I moved the camera to let him see and fix it back again. It's a spaghetti strap top, and I flicked the black strap of my bralette picking, and this is my bralette. Don't you have any shirt with sleeves on? Hinilot nito ang sentido. Umiling ako. Why? I like this top. Nakakagalaw ako at hindi ako pinagpapawisan. Let's see if you will still like that top when I return. Talagang pagpapawisan ka sa akin. He murmured low only for me to hear. I felt like he's here and he's millimeters away from my spine. My eyes lazily swept the screen. You messaged me when you arrived in Manila. I softly bit my lips and just like I had predicted, Gab followed it. He shook his head as if in trance and looked at me in disbelief. Sweetheart, honey, oh shit, what did you say? He was rendered speechless by me and was failing miserably to fight for control. Nothing. The corners of my mouth lifted slightly. He cursed out loud about a dozen times before finally saying goodbye, hope still in his eyes. So, dito na po natin muna tatapusin ang ating pagbabasa sa ngayon. Kung nagustuhan mo ang episode na ito, pahit naman ng like button dyan. At kung hindi ka pa nakapag-subscribe sa aking channel, pahit ng subscribe button at bell all na rin para ma-notify ka sa mga bago nating updates. Hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat!